Hey everybody, it's been a long time since I did a video of my crafts, and I could give you a bunch of excuses as to why. I've been busy, I have to save money because I have to go to a wedding at Disney World later in the year, and also I'm moving later in the year, so blah 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 blah. Regardless, I haven't done a video since February, and that's kind of awful. So another thing is, because I've been working prominently with resin lately, those projects tend to take a lot longer than doing stuff with clay. But I have a kind of mini clay update in here as well. So let's get down to it. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this piece. Now this was actually kind of a fail. My mom used to own a jewelry company when I was a kid, and she recently sent me a huge box of a bunch of broken pieces of jewelry that she used to sell, and she said you can try and use it in your resin. So one of the things she'd sent me were these peacock earrings that had like beads on the end, and I casted a clear piece with the peacock feather. I went in with like tweezers and positioned every little frond of the feather perfectly, and then when I domed it on the back, it spilled, and you can't see the peacock feather anymore. So, I decided to kind of bedazzle it like crazy. So I put these blue rhinestones all the way around the edge, and I put this big green stone, and you can kind of see the shadow of the feather, which I kind of like, but I wish you could see it all the way around. That would be a little bit better. So then I couldn't decide if I actually liked this side, so I did it double-sided. And when I domed it, I put this acrylic piece underneath and put some more jewels in there. So I don't know which side I like better. They're both kind of pretty, but it's also kind of a big piece. So there's that. Then I was working on some stuff with clay. I had seen a video of miniatures, and I saw a tutorial on how to do a miniature candle, which I really liked. So I decided to put it in the jar because I want to bottle everything. And actually the candle is made out of glow-in-the-dark clay. So when it's in complete dark, which I'll show you because I have a lot of glow-in-the-dark stuff, at the end of the video I will show you what it looks like. So this is the candle. It's meant to look like it's been kind of dripping a lot, and it's very antiqued. And then there's the flame. And then the candle part actually does glow in the dark, and I actually made 2 of those. So there's this one as well. I think this one turned out a little bit better. So you can see the drips of the candle. I like that one a lot. Sorry, my dog's playing with her pillow. Then, I'm a crafty creature who continuously inspires me, did a firefly jar a little while ago. I think it was last weekend. And it was more of like a desktop piece, like a paperweight or something like that. But I said I would love to do a wearable version. So I came up with this. So basically, it's just balls of glow-in-the-dark clay, which I've suspended in resin. And I added some of the bling glitter to make it a little bit more pretty during the daytime as well. And when you do it in the dark, which again I'll show you at the end of the video, all of these glow bright green, just like fireflies, and I love it. I'm so in love with this. So I may have to do this again. Then I was working on a piece for my friend for his birthday, which is coming up in May. And he really likes chess and kind of ancient warfare and stuff like that. So I was trying some different things. And okay, so I have this piece. And if it'll focus, you can see that it says fight to the death. This thing was a pain in the butt. Every time I did a layer, it bubbled. And not just like little tiny bubbles, like huge bubbles that I had to pry off with the blade and then redo it and glaze it. And so you can see how bumpy it is on the edges because of all the layers I had to do. So this is kind of a fail. The other thing is, once I finally got it to a place where it was like, okay, this looks halfway decent, I realized that the horse is smiling. And it's on a battlefield of blood. I don't want the horse to be smiling. So you can see it's transparent. I did the blood drop technique to make this kind of blood slide background. I wanted it to look like a battlefield. And it was just supposed to be like a paperweight type of thing, but this is just going to end up, I think, getting recycled into my own personal collection because I don't like how it turned out. And I've started another one for him, which this is the beginning stages of it. And I did something a little bit different with this one. So this is kind of gross. But so I did the blood drop technique again with this one. But on this first layer, it was opaque dye or paint instead of the transparent. And I love it. It looks like blood and guts. It's so cool. It looks like intestines and stuff. So there's that, and then this is the other side, and you can see kind of the blood drop thing. I didn't make it very thick, so it's hard to see the blood drops, but I don't know what I want to do with this. If I want to keep going or if I just want to end it here, so we will see. So then, I actually just popped these out last night. I found this mold that I'm just in love with because it's silicone and it's shiny on the inside and all the pieces come out faceted and perfect. So I did a bunch of stuff in there and I popped these out last night and I'm loving these pieces. I'm actually about to do another pour in this mold because I love it. So there's this one with an acrylic piece in here that's kind of transparent, which I don't know if it's too subtle. I think the background had just a little bit too much blue in it, and it's just a little bit too subtle, but it's still kind of pretty. Also, couldn't get these things to lay flat. Then I did this piece with some lips, and unfortunately we got some bubbles on this one. If I go in with some rhinestones, I can kind of fill this in, and then you won't see the bubbles on the inside of the lips, and that won't be so bad. Also, I wanted the background to be a little bit darker than this. It turned out more red. I wanted it to be more black with kind of a red sheen, but that's okay. Then we did some more steampunk pieces because they're my favorite. This is another exploded clock piece, and I love how this one turned out. Absolutely love it. In love. So you just see some gears and the clock hands and the kind of empty face type of thing, and I did this kind of antiqued gold background, but I know it's a little bit chunky, but I just love the dimension on it. I love that the pieces cast shadows onto the background. So cool. And I did this one too, which I love again. I'm so happy with this because I got the key. These are two separate pieces, and I got the key to look like it was going into the lock, and it's perfect. I took forever. I was like manipulating it with chopsticks and holding things in my mouth. It was not good, but I love the final result. I think that turned out really cool. Then, as much as I say I don't like kawaii, I do actually like sweet stecco stuff, so I did this little cupcake piece, which I'm going to go in with some rhinestones and jazz up. This is this little cupcake. It's pretty cute. It's got kind of like a purplish pink background. There's that. And then lastly I have this piece, which this is going to be so cool. So this will be another one I'll show you at the end of the video because these little balls are actually glow-in-the-dark clay. And if you can see, I placed some of it behind the eyes of the masks. So when you see this in the dark, all the little balls glow and the eyes glow. It is so cool. But you can see there's lots of glitter in there to make it sparkle, and it's iridescent, and I think this one turned out really good. I'm really happy with this piece. And finally, I have a really big thing to show you, and this is one of the things that took up a lot of time. So I made this box out of resin. So I guess I'll show you the pieces individually. So here's the lid. And it's got this kind of ivy pattern, which I painted with, this is actually nail polish. I painted this green nail polish into the mold, actually, and then it pulled it out with it, which was awesome. And I dyed the rest of it with this kind of iridescent green pigment and mixed in some cellophane glitter just to give it some texture. So I really like how the lid turned out. I'm very happy with that. And then on the inside, I've just been keeping, these are kind of like random pieces that I've been doing just with leftover resin. I kind of pour them into my heart molds or my jewel molds. And some of them are good, some of them are not. This one's kind of just like a blood drop type of thing. No sparkles in it for once. This one is sparkly. Needs a little bit of glazing. And there's this one. It's another little acrylic piece, but the glitter kind of crowded it, but I'm kind of in love with the back of it. I love this glitter. And then there's this one, which got a big old drip on it, which is not good, so I gotta try and go in and fix that. Arg. And then there's these little pieces, which did not turn out well. They look fine here, and then I tried to float these little gemstones in them, and they just sank, and they're not pretty. So that's all that those are. But then here is the bottom of the box. So the bottom I did in this kind of aqua color. And I actually used eyeshadow and I did not grind it up enough, which is why you see all these little dots on the edges, because it all just sank. But I did, I mixed in the holographic silver glitter with it, and then I did cellophane glitter on the bottom, so you get this kind of like transparent seashell effect. I don't know. But I love the sides. The sides are all textured. This was all in the mold. And then the bottom, I did in this green glitter, and you can see the cellophane kind of poking through. And I put these blue pearls on there as feet so that it'll sit evenly. And yeah, I'm really quite happy with this. It didn't take quite as much resin as you would expect, but it did take a bit. So I probably wouldn't make these that often, but it's nice to know that I have the ability to make them. So there's that, and I think that's everything. So I will attach the clip of all the glow-in-the-dark stuff at the end here, and I hope you all are doing well. So this is the fireflies. This is the mask piece. These are the candles.